Okay, so this is a instructional video on the 3 different types of microphones that you'll come across, whether you're doing recording, podcasting, or studio stuff. Okay, the first one that we're going to talk about today is dynamic. Dynamic microphones are the only cables that don't require any additional power source, and these are just direct. You plug them in with a 3-pin XLR cable, and you get sound out of them. This specific microphone has an on-off switch on them. Some of them will have them, some of them will not. Some of them will look like this with nothing on them. Some will look like this. These are typically capsuled on the top here, so they get direct sound source from the tip of it. So you don't get sound from the side, you get sounds directly from the front of it. And this is said for most microphones. These types of microphones are good for recording direct sounds such as instruments or even vocal microphones for stage work. These are the most common and typically the cheapest microphones that you can get. Next one that we're going to take a look here is the condenser microphone. These are the only microphone that requires what we call phantom power, or on most mixers will have a plus 48 volt. These microphones are extremely sensitive to sound, so they are perfect for recording open room areas or even some instruments, but mostly for vocals. These typically have a large capsule, so they're meant to be sometimes directional or sometimes bidirectional, which means they can get from front and back. Check the boxes that these come with because they'll tell you the different types, such as cardioid and non-cardioid. So if anything, these types of microphones are usually cardioid, which means they only pick up at the front, which will have the logo on it. So if it has the logo on it, that is the front side. Okay, and then the last microphone that we will talk about is the ribbon microphone. This is a microphone that you do not want to apply any sort of phantom power to it at all. These have a magnetic plate on them, which means they are extremely sensitive to sound. So because of that, they're kind of like the dynamic microphones in that you don't need any power source to them, but these are extremely sensitive and have a magnetic plate. So any sort of electronical discharge, such as the plus 48 volt, can discharge the plates and actually ruin the microphone. These are typically the most expensive microphones, but these are great for recording rooms or drums areas, or even just general room areas. So they can capture a full room, they can capture hi-hat cymbals, and sometimes they can be used for vocals. These types of microphones are sometimes mostly bidirectional, which means they can pick up from both the front and the back. So if there's people on either side talking to it, it'll pick up one signal only when you plug them in. These are the 3 main types of microphones that you'll come across. So you have dynamic, which are not as sensitive but easy to plug and play. Condenser microphones, which are sensitive but need phantom power. And ribbon microphones, which do not need power but are extremely sensitive. And those are the 3 categories of microphones you'll come across.